The summer transfer window is now open, so it's time for a big video. I'm going to run through my dream Manchester United summer window. All the signings and all the sales. We've got Cunha through the door, but I think we need at least 4 more signings to follow him. So let's run through everything and take a look at the end of the video at how that team could shape up. So this is a big video. Once a year we do this. My dream summer window. I'm going to run through all the signings I think we should be making. I'm going to run through the sales I think we should be making. Going to put it all in a spreadsheet, show you the totals, and let's see how right I am in the summer. Let's be honest, I'm not going to be right at all. But this is how it goes. Every single summer I do this. Now, this is how we're going to run through it, all right? Cunha's already on that list, but I'm going to put every signing. There's 5 signings I'm going for, and I'll be honest, like these totals might change according to the summer. I think if we sell Bruno Fernandes, this whole conversation really does change. But Cunha's first on my list. This signing is already done, right? Easy. I think it really is a very good start to the summer for United. And I think number 2 on my list is going to be this man. Let's get into it, all right? Number 2 on my list is going to be Mbeumo. And I'm going to put him down as 50 million. So what we should be happening here, look at that, updated already. Sometimes listening to IT and score actually gets you somewhere. Yeah. Anyway, and Mbeumo I'm going to put down as 50 mil. I think that's optimistic, but that's been the main prices we've been seeing so far. I think the idea of signing 2 Premier League proven, ball-carrying, goal-scoring number 10s would be an incredible part of this summer window. We still need more on top of that, but it would be a big upgrade in terms of goal-scoring, in terms of threat off the ball, in terms of actually having characters that can lead as well. I'm going for both of those. And my dream striker, I think everyone kind of knows this. I'm going for Gyökeres, and I'm going for 54 million because that's been the price that Fabrizio said. Now, do I think that we're going to sign Gyökeres? I still think that the missing out in the Champions League is going to stop us getting him, but right now Arsenal aren't going after him. No conversation about Liverpool. Chelsea got to that. Maybe they'll go after him as well. And maybe it's impossible. Maybe this dream will just stay as a dream and it won't be reality. But I'm going to put him down as my dream sign. Now, this one here, this position, is the one I've had the most, and I'm in an iron about. Central midfield. Because I think you can go 2 angles here. You could go for like an elite level sort of all-round midfielder, in and out of possession. And I think if you were having that conversation, someone like Carlos Baleba would be a prime example of a perfect player, but probably way too much for United. But what I've decided to go for, and I actually think this is overpriced, and not overpriced, I just think it's unlikely that it happens. I've gone for Adam Wharton. Now, I've got, and again, this is probably very optimistic, I've gone for 75 mil. I think Palace would charge more than that. Realistically, I think they would. In an ideal world, United would be able to find Wharton before he had that price tag, or Baleba before he had that price tag, but we're going for a dream window here. I still do feel that Man United really missed that ball progressor. That's it. And as I said, I think this conversation, this video changes if United do end up selling Bruno Fernandes this summer, because I think the budgets go up, the ambition goes up, and the amount of players that we need to sign goes up. But I've gone for those 4, and I'm going for one more signing. And for a lot of you, this is probably going to be probably the most important signing, and that's a new goalkeeper. I've gone for Garcia from Espanyol. He was top of our list when we looked at all the goalkeepers, all the data, all the eye tests, and it was Garcia who came up pretty much top of every single list. It looks like he might be going to Barcelona, so this may well be a mute video. Well, a mute point anyway, to put him in my dream list. But that's 5 signings, 2 number 10s, a striker, a central midfielder, and a goalkeeper. And if I was being greedy, I'd probably put in a wide centre-back. The reason I'm not going for a wing-back down there is because I think Ahmad's going to be playing at right wing-back next season if we sign 2 number 10s in Cunha and Mbeumo. And Dorgu we've already signed at left wing-back. And we've got Diego Leon coming in as an understudy, and we should be selling Shaw and Madisia. And now let's move on to the sales, which I would say, we say every summer, like, oh, the sales are just as important, blah, blah, blah. This summer, even more than most. Sales are so significant. Because you can see that. Ain't no way we're spending 260 million. We're seeing that we're hearing anyway, that the budget for United this summer is like 125 million. So how do we make that up in sales? Let's talk about it. First on that list, Marcus Rashford. 40 million. Done. Right? It's just the wages, man. It's just finding a club to pay the wages that he wants. He wants to go Barcelona. I still don't know whether that's going to happen or not. But this is a dream summer, right? So we talk about dreams. And maybe this is, let's be honest, it's not completely based in reality because I've got Gyökeres down, then I've got Wharton for 75 mil, and he'll probably go for a lot more than 75 mil. Anyway, it's a dream. Garnacho, I think Garnacho should be going. And I'm annoyed that I'm only putting 40 million down here, but it's kind of what we've been seeing, right? We've been hearing that Garnacho is going to go for 40 million to Napoli. I think United should be getting more, but maybe it'll go 40 plus a big sell-on. I don't quite know. Right, next on my list is Anthony. And 25 million, I do genuinely, it feels realistic to me. The way that he's played at Real Betis, I don't think they'll be able to afford it. But I'm going for Anthony at 25 million. Next, and this is probably going to remain a dream anyway. Sancho, I'm only going for 20 mil, man. I don't even know if we get 20 mil for him. When it comes to these players, Rashford, you're struggling because of the wages. Sancho, you're struggling because of the wages. Garnacho, you're struggling because every club knows that United need to sell him now because he's fallen out with Amorim. And Anthony, I think, well, yeah, we should be able to get 25 mil for Anthony. But for those four players there, it always sounds so easy when you do this. Every time I do one of these videos, 125 mil for those four players. Oh, it's perfect. It's easy. Great. Now we've only spent 136 mil overall. It never quite works out, but this is why we do dream videos. Now I'm going for this, right? I'm going for Højlund. I'm going for 30 mil. Now you will notice, by the way, that in this list I do, it doesn't exactly match up with the keep or sell list I did because, you know, I'm not going to put down that it's going to be a dream for United to sell Collier or Fredrickson. But if we did, I'm not going to be offended by it. I'm not going to say it's part of my dream window. I'd say these are the sort of essential sales that I want the club to make. I think Højlund leaving for 30 million, United then signing a striker like Gyökeres and then maybe bringing Cheeto through as the understudy. That's a good situation for me as long as you've then got two number 10 goal-scoring number 10s behind him in Mbeumo and Cunha, then you're spreading the load, you're spreading the responsibility of the goals, and you don't really need two out-and-out goal scorers. You've got one in Gyökeres and then an understudy in Cheeto. I think that would work. I'd be happy with that. And if we've got 30 mil for Højlund, look, I judge players now after their second season. Is there development at the end of the second season? Yes, we continue. No. All right, we part ways. That's where Højlund falls in. I don't think I'm being unfair when I'm saying that. And next on my list is definitely Onana. Exact same conversation. End of the second season. I don't think 30 mil is unrealistic for Højlund. If you sell him to a Saudi club, I think 30 mil feels reasonable. 30 mil for Onana out and 20 mil Garcia in. It looks like Garcia's going Barcelona. So if it's not Garcia, it's somebody else in that range. I think Zion Suzuki. We already ran through that list. If you want to check it out, that list, that video's out on United People's TV. But I'm going for Onana being sold for 30 million. Now, let's go for there's a few players here that I think United can just get a bit of money for. Bayindir, 5 mil. Shaw, 5 mil. And that's probably optimistic. Let's be totally honest. I think Shaw, if he does end up leaving United, is probably going to go for a loan with wages covered with an obligation. So, in fact, I'm actually going to get rid of Shaw there because I know there's nobody that's going to be paying for him. I'll tell you who would pay 5 mil for someone, though. Malacia. We'll keep him there. I'm not going to include Shaw in there because no one's going to pay money for him. They're going to want to loan him, see if he stays fit all season. If he does, all right, yeah, we'll pay him. We'll sign him. And the last player I've got on this list is Casemiro. Now, again, this of course, it feels massively optimistic. Look at the numbers I've got down here, right? 215 million in sales, 261 in signings. Overall, with a spend of 50 million. It annoys me. It annoys me how every single time you do one of these videos, it just looks so obvious and so easy. Like if we were to sell those players, Rashford, Garnacho, Anthony, Sancho, Højlund, Onana, Bayindir, Malacia, Casemiro, how much are we damaging our starting 11? There's a couple of players there that you would say in our starting 11. But look at what that enables you to do. Cunha and Mbeumo, 2 number 10s. Gyökeres, a goal scorer. Now, if it's not Gyökeres, I don't know who else is going to be. I really don't. I already ran through the list. Ollie Watkins might come up as an option with Cheeto coming through. Osimhen, I think the wages are going to be nuts, but this is a bit of a dream video. The one I'm most umming and ahhing about is a central midfielder. What exact type of profile it should be and how much it would be. So Wharton, even if you were now to go Wharton, realistically, is let's say he left Crystal Palace. They'd probably try and charge 100 for him. And then you're spending 100 million on Wharton. It's a big old risk. It's a big old risk. Yeah, even 75 million is a risk. But this is what happens when United aren't able to scout those players before they become those players. Maybe if we had signed Wharton from Crystal Palace, sorry, from, where was it the Crystal Palace signed him from? Wharton. Was it Blackburn? I think it might have been Blackburn. Anyway, he might not be the player he is now as a consequence of joining United. Either way, 5 big signings. 2 number 10s, a striker, a central midfielder, and a goalkeeper. And how many sales? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 first team players. And then you've got Lindelof, Eriksson, and Evans, who have all left. Their contracts have expired. And if United did that, sold for 215 million, spent 286, it's a net spend of 71.5 million. It's all so simple. I really wish it was all this simple, because if you did that, our squad would be significantly better. If I was going to go for another signing, I would probably go for a wide right centre-back. And I know that there's going to be question marks about right wing-backs, but I think because we've got Ahmad, who's going to be playing there, I think, next season, if we sign 2 number 10s. If we don't sign 2 number 10s, then you probably play Ahmad further forward and you sign a right wing-back. Different options. That's my dream summer. How much of it actually happens, we'll find out.